All right, Jason Michelucci on Facebook, also goes by Black Metal Gamer, if I'm not mistaken. He wants to know if I could have one old game company, come back and make a new console. Who would I choose? Who would I like to see make a console today? I can definitely say not Atari and not Coleco, because I would want someone who, the last console they made was good, and you would like to have more of that. So first, the obvious answer, I think, is probably Sega. Sega, if you discount the Sega CD and the 32X, which is debatable, but, they've never made a bad console. Everything they've made has been excellent. Master System, Mega Drive, Saturn, Dreamcast and Saturn being two of my favorite systems ever. Great games and just great consoles in general. So for Sega to make a new console now, it would be pretty tough because it doesn't seem likely that they'd be able to, conjure up something that could compete with Microsoft and Sony. But if they could use all of their own original IPs, plus Sega now owns Atlas, if I'm not mistaken. So if Sega made a console where all the Sega IPs were exclusive to that console, and they could somehow wiggle in all the Atlas IPs being exclusive to that console and get some other people on board. Sega, back in the day, one of the things they did was they innovated, and they made excellent games. And I think it's hard to say. I don't know if they have the money to make something that could outdo Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. It would have to be something, I guess, that could be made cheaply, which would probably negatively affect the quality of the games in the console. But I don't know, I guess in a hypothetical world, if Sega just had like a mountain of cash, like they had enough to make something that rivaled the other big console makers, then yes, I'd like to see them do something. Another one is, and they've kind of done something recently, but I don't think it really counts, is Neo-Geo. So we have here a Neo-Geo CD. They recently released the Neo-Geo X. What was it, like a year or two ago? I don't know. Can't really call that like anything new. It was just old games put on like little USB cards or sticks or whatever. So I'd like to see SNK make something new, especially now that they're just SNK again. They're no longer SNK Playmore. So SNK now their own company again, doing their own thing. I know the new King of Fighters is shaping up to look really good. If they were going to make a new console, now if Sega doesn't have the money to make something that rivals the other guys, I'm pretty sure SNK definitely wouldn't. But something I think would be really cool from SNK, something like this, a new handheld, the Neo-Geo Pocket, one of my absolute favorite handhelds ever. And again, I know the Neo-Geo X, but not talking about that. Something new that they can create new games for. It wouldn't have to be something that would, rival like PSP or what have you, but something that they could put first-party SNK games on. And if they, followed what they did with the Neo-Geo Pocket, you could have anything, Sonic games, put some Capcom stuff on there as well. That could be really cool if SNK made another Neo-Geo Pocket style handheld and they had their first party stuff on there and maybe a few third party things from Sega or Capcom or whoever. That would be really cool. But those are two companies, Sega and SNK, who always have made quality stuff that, if given the chance, I'd like to see them come out with some kind of new hardware. I think that would be pretty cool. Anyway, thank you, Jason Michelucci, for your question.